A peaceful nation must respect and uphold justice and ethical principle. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. Dear respected Mahasangha and the Buddhist Temple organizations, His Excellency, the President of Sri Lanka, Honorable Madam Prime Minister, respected government officials and leaders of all faiths, Ayubowan brothers and sisters of Sri Lanka and around the world. I bow to you all with a heart full of gratitude. Today, we stand together at the completion of the walk of peace in Sri Lanka. It has not simply been a physical journey across your land. It has been a connection from one heart to another. Step by step, city by city, we have witnessed something very powerful, the living spirit of loving kindness and compassion in Sri Lanka. We walk under rains, we walk in scorching heat, and we walk barefoot on asphalt roads that tested the body and the mind. Yet, at every difficulty, the people of this beautiful country responded not with disregard, but with kindness. Roads were watered, banana leaves and flower carpet were laid out to soften the path and ease our pain. Respect was shown, smiles were offered, care was given openly. This is what true strength looks like. This is what a peaceful nation looks like. And for this, I offer my deepest gratitude, not only on behalf of myself and the Walk of Peace team, but on behalf of everyone who has been touched by this journey. Today, I would like to reflect something very important. Our Lord Gautama Buddha did not only teach individuals how to live peacefully, he also gave guidance on how a nation can establish and maintain peace. There are 7 essential qualities that sustain harmony in a society. And although they were taught long ago, they were deeply relevant today. First, a nation must come together regularly in unity to discuss and reflect on what is right and beneficial to promote harmony. When people stop communicating with wisdom and understanding, division begins. Second, when they gather, they must meet in harmony, act in harmony, and disperse in harmony. It is not enough to need. How we treat each other matters. Third, a peaceful nation must respect and uphold justice and ethical principle, not creating disorders through impulsions or harmful actions to all sentient beings. Fourth, respect must be given to elders, those who carry experience and wisdom. A society that neglects its elders loses its values. Fifth, women and children must be protected. Where there is safety and dignity, there is stability and growth. 6. Spiritual and cultural values must be preserved. Sacred places, traditions, and teachings are anchors to a nation's cultural identity and heritage. And 7. A nation must respect and protect those who live a life of virtue, because virtuous citizens are the foundation for maintaining liberty, stability, and morality in society. If these qualities are upheld, peace is not something we have to chase. It becomes something we naturally live. But today, I want to take this one step further. Each one of us also has a world inside. Within this body and mind, there is a territory. There are borders. There are conflicts. There is peace. If we cannot govern our own inner world with wisdom, how can we expect the outer world to remain peaceful? So ask yourself, do I meet my own thoughts with mindfulness? Do I respect what is good and avoid what is harmful? Do I listen to wisdom both within and around me? Do I cultivate kindness and patience? If each individual begins to establish peace within, then families become peaceful, communities become peaceful, nations become peaceful, the world becomes peaceful. Peace is not built from the outside in. It is built from the inside out. During this journey, we were not alone. A very special being walked with us, Aloka. Aloka has no voice to speak our language, yet he has communicated something very profound to all of us. Through his presence, we were reminded that loving kindness and compassion must not be limited. It must extend to all living beings. The way a society treats its animal reflects the depth of its humanity. And here in Sri Lanka, we have witnessed something truly inspiring: the love, the care, the protection shown to aloka and the animals along the way has been deeply moving. Let this not end with this walk. Let it grow. Let it become a stronger awareness that animals are not objects. They are living beings with feelings, with fear, with trust. They depend on our kindness. Compassion is not complete unless it includes all beings, no matter how big or small. Today, I also wish to express my profound gratitude to the Mahasangha of Sri Lanka. Your blessings, your guidance, and your presence have been a great encouragement for this journey. To His Excellency, the President, the Honorable Prime Minister, and all government officials, your meaningful support has made this gathering and this walk for peace in Sri Lanka possible. And with deep appreciation, we also extend our heartfelt gratitude for giving us a sacred foreshadowing from the Jaya Sri Mahabodhi to the Dhammacharya project in Fort Worth, Texas, USA. This is not just a gift, it is a living bridge of Dhamma, connecting Sri Lanka to the rest of the world. We are equally grateful for the honor of allowing the Buddha's relics to be exhibited at the upcoming International Vesak celebration at the Hundao Vipassana Bhavana Center in USA. This is a profound blessing that will inspire countless people. For these acts of generosity and trust, we offer our deepest gratitude to the Mahasangha, to His Excellency the President, to the Honorable Prime Minister, and to the entire nation of Sri Lanka. To the Navy, law enforcement, and security teams, the dedicated vet team, medical team, and media team, to every faith leader and host who welcomed us, every benefactor, every volunteer, every supporter, both here and watching online around the world. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are all part of this peace. No single person walked this path alone. And finally, I leave you with a simple practice. Throughout this journey, I have shared one message again and again. It is simple, but it is very powerful if you practice it sincerely. Be mindful. Be mindful with your thoughts. Be mindful with your words. Be mindful with your actions. And let loving kindness be your guide towards yourself, towards others, and towards all beings regardless of their background, belief, or identity. Unity does not mean we are the same. Unity means we choose peace despite our differences. If we can do this, even in small ways, then what we began here will not end here. It will continue in your home, in your communities, in your hearts. So as we conclude this walk of peace, I invite you to carry this message forward, not as a memory, but as a daily practice. And as I have said many times on this journey, start your day by writing this statement down and reading it out loud. Today is going to be my peaceful day. Thank you, and may you all be well, be happy, and be peaceful. Namo Buddhaya.
The late afternoon sun cast a long, golden glow across the geometric expanses of Independence Square, illuminating a profound convergence of history, faith, and diplomacy. A deep, resonant hum began to vibrate through the humid Sri Lankan air, coalescing into the ancient, sacred syllables, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sankhaya. This invocation, vibrating with centuries of devotion, marked the commencement of a deeply significant ceremony honoring the reception of the sacred relics. Gathered within the stately columns of the square was a mosaic of leadership and spiritual authority. The Honorable President and the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka stood in quiet reverence, sharing the space with the most venerable Mahanayaka Theros of the Ramanya and Amarapura Nikayas, respected government officials, and leaders of various faiths from across the globe. Yet, this gathering was far more than a ceremonial formality or a display of statecraft. It was the emotional and spiritual culmination of the Walk for Peace, a grueling, transcendent journey that had traversed the physical landscape of Sri Lanka to forge an unbreakable connection between human hearts. The air was thick not just with the scent of lotus blossoms and incense, but with the palpable weight of a nation's collective breath, exhaling the trials of the past and inhaling the promise of a unified future. Standing before this assembly, one could feel the profound gratitude emanating from the organizers and participants, bowing to the brothers and sisters of Sri Lanka and the watching world. The ceremony was not merely a conclusion to a physical trek across a lush island, it was the realization of a shared vision, an acknowledgement that the living spirits of loving kindness and compassion had not just survived the echoes of historic conflicts, but were actively thriving in the very soil of the nation. This profound sense of national compassion had been proven, step by step, city by city, over the course of the Walk for Peace. The journey had been a relentless test of human endurance, pushing the boundaries of the body and the mind. The participants had walked under torrential tropical downpours that blurred the horizon, and they had marched under a scorching, unforgiving sun. They walked barefoot on blisteringly hot asphalt roads that threatened to break their resolve with every searing step. Yet, it was precisely in the crucible of this suffering that the true character of the Sri Lankan people revealed itself. At every point of difficulty, the citizens of this beautiful island responded not with the apathy or disregard so often found in modern societies, but with an outpouring of unconditional kindness. When the roads became too hot to bear, villagers emerged from their homes to water the asphalt, cooling the path for the barefoot monks and pilgrims. Where the terrain grew treacherous, local communities spontaneously laid down vast carpets of cool banana leaves and vibrant flower petals, a vibrant tapestry of devotion designed to soften the path and ease the physical pain of the walkers. Respect was shown in countless quiet gestures, hands pressed together in traditional greeting, bright smiles offered freely from the roadside, and sustenance given with open, joyous hearts. This extraordinary display of communal care was a living portrait of what a truly peaceful nation looks like. It was a testament to the fact that peace is not merely the absence of war, but the active, daily practice of empathy. The deep gratitude offered by the Walk for Peace team extended to everyone whose life had intersected with this journey, for they had demonstrated that a society's greatest strength lies in its capacity to care for the weary and support the vulnerable. The living empathy witnessed on the roads of Sri Lanka echoes a profound political and spiritual blueprint laid down over 2 millennia ago. The Lord Gautama Buddha did not merely instruct individuals on how to achieve personal enlightenment. He provided a comprehensive framework for how an entire nation can establish and sustain enduring peace. This ancient wisdom, often encapsulated in the 7 essential qualities that sustain harmony in a society, remains strikingly relevant to the complex geopolitical realities of today. The first of these pillars dictates that a nation must come together regularly in unity to discuss and reflect on what is right and beneficial. When a society stops communicating with wisdom and understanding, the fertile ground of division is sown. Harmony requires the active, continuous effort of dialogue. The second pillar deepens this concept. It is not enough merely to meet. A people must meet in harmony, act in harmony, and disperse in harmony. The manner in which citizens treat one another during their deliberations is just as critical as the outcomes they seek. The third quality demands that a peaceful nation respect and uphold justice and ethical principles, refusing to create disorder through impulsive, harmful actions against any sentient being. A society built on the shifting sands of ethical compromise cannot stand. Fourth, a nation must venerate its elders, the carriers of lived experience and hard-won wisdom. A society that neglects its elders severs its own roots, losing the historical context necessary to navigate the future. Fifth, the protection of women and children is paramount. Where there is safety and dignity for the most vulnerable, there is stability and boundless potential for growth. Sixth, a nation must actively preserve its spiritual and cultural values. Sacred spaces, ancient traditions, and moral teachings are the vital anchors of a nation's cultural identity and heritage, providing a sense of belonging that transcends generations. Finally, the seventh pillar insists that a nation must respect and protect those who live a life of virtue. Virtuous citizens are the bedrock of liberty, morality, and social stability. When these 7 qualities are upheld, peace ceases to be a distant ideal that must be frantically chased. It transforms into a natural state of being, breathed by the society every single day. Yet, as profound as these societal pillars are, they cannot stand if the foundation of the individual is crumbling. Moving from the macrocosm of the state to the microcosm of the soul, we must recognize that each one of us harbors an entire world inside. Within the boundaries of our own bodies and minds exists a vast territory. This inner landscape has its own borders, its own raging conflicts, and its own potential for profound peace. If we cannot govern our own inner world with wisdom and restraint, it is an exercise in futility to expect the outer world to remain peaceful. This realization demands a rigorous, honest self-examination. We must ask ourselves, do I meet my own thoughts with the clarity of mindfulness? Do I respect what is fundamentally good and actively avoid what is harmful, even in the privacy of my own mind? Do I listen to the quiet voice of wisdom, both within my own conscience and from the mentors around me? Do I actively cultivate kindness and patience, or do I allow the weeds of anger and resentment to choke my inner garden? If each individual commits to establishing peace within their own mind, a miraculous ripple effect begins. Peaceful individuals build peaceful families. Peaceful families naturally coalesce into peaceful communities. Peaceful communities forge peaceful nations, and ultimately, peaceful nations give rise to a peaceful world. The transformative truth of the human experience is that peace is never successfully built from the outside in, imposed by decrees or enforced by armies. It is always and exclusively built from the inside out, beginning with the silent governance of one's own heart. This expansive circle of compassion, beginning within and radiating outward, fundamentally changes how we view all life, a truth made vividly apparent during the walk for peace by a very special companion named Aloka. Aloka was an animal who walked alongside the human pilgrims, and though he had no voice to speak human languages, he communicated a message of profound moral weight. Through his simple, enduring presence, Aloka reminded everyone that loving kindness and compassion cannot be compartmentalized or restricted only to our own species. True compassion must extend unconditionally to all living beings. The way a society treats its animals is a flawless mirror, reflecting the true depth of its humanity. In Sri Lanka, the participants witnessed something truly inspiring: the deep love, meticulous care, and fierce protection shown to Aloka and other animals encountered along the dusty roads. This tenderness was deeply moving, challenging the modern, industrialized notion that animals are mere objects or resources. They are living, sentient beings who experience fear, who build trust, and who depend entirely upon human kindness for their survival in a human-dominated world. Compassion remains incomplete, fractured, and conditional unless it includes all beings, no matter how big or small, how familiar or strange. The journey called upon all who witnessed it to ensure that this awareness does not end with the final steps of the walk, but rather grows into a fiercer, more protective cultural norm. The transformative energy generated by this local compassion is already building bridges across oceans, expanding the spiritual footprint of Sri Lanka far beyond its geographical shores. The Walk for Peace has blossomed into acts of international generosity that connect the East to the West in unprecedented ways. With the deepest appreciation, the global Buddhist community and international observers received the monumental gift of a Shakya Buddha sapling, carefully cultivated from the ancient, revered Jaya Shri Mahabodhi tree. This sacred sapling was gifted to the Dhamma Sitya project in Fort Worth, Texas, in the United States. This is not merely an exchange of agricultural material. It is the planting of a living bridge of Dhamma, rooting the ancient spiritual heritage of Sri Lanka into the soil of the American South, connecting diverse cultures through a shared reverence for life and enlightenment. Furthermore, the immense honor of allowing the Buddha's sacred relics to be exhibited at the upcoming International Vesak celebration at the Hongdao Vipassana Pavanar Center in the USA represents a profound blessing. These relics serve as a physical manifestation of the Buddha's enduring legacy, and their journey to the United States will inspire countless people, offering a focal point for meditation, reflection, and intercultural unity. For these extraordinary acts of generosity and trust, boundless gratitude flows to the Maha Sangha, the President, the Prime Minister, and the entire nation of Sri Lanka. This immense undertaking, culminating in such profound international goodwill, was the result of countless unseen hands and dedicated hearts. Deep gratitude is owed to the Sri Lankan Navy, the law enforcement and security teams who ensured safe passage, the dedicated veterinary and medical teams who tended to the physical tolls of the journey, and the media teams who broadcast this message of hope. Every faith leader who opened their doors, every host who offered shelter, every benefactor, and every volunteer, whether physically present or watching online from thousands of miles away, is an integral architect of this peace. No single person walked this path alone. As the formal events at Independence Square draw to a close, the true work begins. The message of the Walk for Peace is simple, yet infinitely powerful if practiced with unwavering sincerity. Be mindful. Be deeply mindful of your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Let love and kindness be the unwavering guide toward yourself, toward others, and toward all beings, entirely regardless of their background, their beliefs, or their identity. We must remember that unity does not demand uniformity. Unity means we consciously choose peace despite our inevitable differences. If we can manifest this in small, daily ways, the peace that was cultivated on the roads of Sri Lanka will not end here. It will travel into our homes, our communities, and our hearts. Therefore, this is not a memory to be archived, but a daily practice to be lived. As was shared many times on the dusty, rain-swept roads, the key to transforming the world is to start every single morning with intention. Write it down, and read it out loud to yourself before the world rushes in. Today is going to be my peaceful day.